What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. So let's do our pre-market analysis, try to see what and where are the best opportunities for tomorrow trading session. Today it was another compression day, another day where we saw dollar index moving a little bit more to the upside. We saw finally pound dollar breaking the lows, the euros well making another low, but still within the same demand zone. It's going to be interesting to see if we're going to hold this level or not. We have the US indices moving up and down, now kind of retesting the highs. We saw oil finally breaking through to the upside. So again, we were looking for those longs already since last week. It finally started to move upwards, in which we break out lows and then move to the upside. And we see gold and so on continue to move to the upside. And we saw also crypto ranging a little bit. In terms of news, there was no news today. It was another non-event day that we saw. We have the Bank of England, the governor baby speaking. I don't really know what he said. We also had Christine Lagarde, I think, said something. Again, not really sure what did she say. Tomorrow we have interest rate in Canada, which is going to be interesting, expecting a 50 basis points rate cut. We may try to see opportunities on the CAD. Again, last week we were looking for the shorts. It happened. Now it's making a little bit more of a move to the upside. And we'll see if there's a possibility to look for shorts within this structure or not, or if price will just move to the upside. Aside from that, there's not exactly any news. Again, at least in the US, those news are going to be on Thursday with a full day of flash manufacturing and services PMI across Europe, UK, and in the US. All right, so that's basically what we have at this point. Again, earnings seasons, they continue, so expect more volatility at the end of the day in US indices. Looking at the dollar, right? So basically just continues. Like we mentioned that we had a little bit of that supply level that price could end up reacting from, and it's kind of reacting. It's also reacting from the lower edge of this level. If you're looking into the 4-hour or daily time frame, we may see the possibility of price going slightly higher into potentially this structure in there. So that will be a potential level where you could see eventually dollar index going towards 2 as well before a bigger move to downside. This is in the 4-hour daily. I think on the 4-hour as well is kind of visible, the same level of structure. You can get a bit more into detail to see where actually that zone can be. Taking into consideration also this low, that can be important. That's when we start going into the lower time frame to try to see where actually is the last level that it touched, because price created this level, but price already moved down, retest the level, may have left this one in here left behind, but then you do have the structure in there as well, right? So again, just go another time frame, lower time frame, and you're going to start looking for those levels. This one in here can be quite interesting, for example. All right, I'm talking about around this structure in here. Now I'm into these lows, this kind of in there. It can be quite interesting, and you could continue to go all the way, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it may be, and then you want to find that decision point. But that one in there on top is also quite interesting. It's something that we can pay attention to, and perhaps that's where the dollar index may want to go towards before a turn. All right, so again, on the word, not on the word time frame, into today's session, right, we have a lot of compression. We did manage to make a little bit of a leg down, but now we have all this compression here, and I'm really expecting to see price moving to the downside, to be honest. All right, I'm expecting price to make a leg down, even if it is just a small retracement before continue to move to the upside. I mean, I'm expecting to see sell pressure from around this level in here, and eventually to feel all this compression. Let's see if it actually makes the attempt to go a little bit more to the upside all the way until somewhere in here before moving down, right? Or if price it's going to even find some kind of structure just like that and move to downside straight away and eventually take these lows. So that will be a little bit of the take on dollar index, either kind of a little bit just collecting the liquidity from this highs and moving down, or going slightly higher into that other level that we just looked at and then move to downside. I think that could happen. Again, dollar index has been quite bullish throughout this month of October. Basically have one big red candle. Aside from that, it's just bullish candles. Aside from these two dodges, it's mostly just a bullish candles being printed in October, and now which we're approaching this level, and I'm looking for price to react from it. It's trying to go down. Euro is basically doing the same thing. There was a bit of more strength on the pound now in the afternoon, but Euro is doing something similar. And then if you do go below those lows, you are looking for price to get a little bit closer to this structure again, and then you will see. Right, we'll see what kind of PI you are going to be creating around this level, because this is one of them. But then we could create also something else. Like we could have that move up, right? But then we could find some other kind of opportunities around this level to look for the short. Like maybe the best short opportunity is going to happen somewhere around this level. Maybe you're not going to be able to catch that top in there, especially if, for example, if you manage to break below this low. That can even be a better scenario in here, or if price just breaks into this compression and then creates a structure, that would be something as well to look for, right? As long as this low in here is not really reacting maybe from this level, I think then you can always look for that retest of this high to look for a short, especially if this high is already reacting from that structure that you mentioned in here, right? So that's a bit on the dollar index, what I'm going to be looking for. On the US indices, right? So we had Nasdaq, S&P. We mentioned that this low was kind of breaking a structure. We're looking for price to go a little bit further down. We did manage to create new lows, but price basically, I have this marking here at the extreme, but to be honest, you can consider these highs as well as the full structure, and that's basically where price has been reacting in here. All right, so again, if you go into the lower time frame, maybe we can find exactly the key zone in there where maybe price could eventually react from, instead of just being the extreme in here at the lows. There you go, we had a new low, something that you were expecting. We also mentioned there is a chance that price could react from here. That's basically where I had this mark, and then could go even higher into the other level in here. So we'll see, we are within this range at this point. We'll see what kind of PI we are going to have around this structure. I could still see a little bit of sell pressure at this highs, but the lows are kind of respecting still this level. I'll definitely turn a little bit more bearish if you do see this level being broken to the downside in here. As long as that doesn't happen, price can basically just range and eventually create new highs in there. Nasdaq is which we just now reversing, so we kept respecting this demand zone in there. We mentioned that we would like to see that zone being broken for price to eventually move further down. We had the first break of structure in here, then price keep respecting the next one, so it had between the supply and this demand zone. Price then kept respecting every single low as well while creating new highs, and now we are into this level. Again, Nasdaq can still go a little bit more further to the left side. Looking at these highs in here, it can go slightly higher even before potentially moving to downside, or we'll see if it's going to even challenge the highs and perhaps creating new all-time highs, which it hasn't really done since July. But this level looks good. Yeah, that's actually the level where Nasdaq just reacted right now. Yep, so it does look good. And start deleting this again. These green marks in here is basically levels where I'm expecting price to react from. I can had that mark in there, basically price is reacting from it as we speak. And Dow just fill the range, right? So we were looking for price to fill out this range. It turned in there. This level in here was already taken, so it was weaker, and then price just filled all the way the move to the downside in here within this demand zone. Again, this low is already kind of a break to downside, but price at this point is still respecting it, and that's totally okay. So we'll see what the Dow is going to do within this range. At this point, we need to see a break. We need to see a break to one of the two extremes to see what we can expect afterwards. But really nice the way Dow just filled this range in here. And then you have DAX. DAX actually managed to break below this low, so it starts opening a little bit more the door to the downside. So that's something that we can eventually look for. All right, price basically retesting this next level, but this can actually open the door for a further move to the downside. Now price may react from something in here which wouldn't be my favorite. Maybe a little bit more to the upside will be a bit more of my ideal zone, but yes, there's maybe something in here that price could react from, or even just from the base of this level as well in here. Now price did manage to fake out these lows, as you can see in here, but now price is respecting the left shoulder, right? And it starts becoming it's a kind of a little bit of a bullish sign that price can actually retest these highs, or even fake out this high in here and go closer to that level, right? So when you fake out a low like this, and then price goes and respects it clear, like in a clean move like this. This kind of turns a little bit more of a bullish move in here, at least for the shorter time frame. Looking at Bitcoin and then Ethereum, like again, great reaction from that level. That's literally one of the last supplies that we were looking for, that price could still respect before trying to challenge the all-time highs. We did manage to break below that low, so that's something that we need to be aware of, which may have opened the door for Bitcoin to go a little bit more to the downside. All right, so that's something that potentially you can look for in here. Now we do have those levels at the high, something that you can definitely look for eventually for price to react and move to the downside. Also, we have destruction here, which could also respect price in here, because these highs in here never really reacted from the level, so it could happen. Something that I don't really like is that price already spent quite a lot of time in here. It kind of looks like more of an accumulation phase than anything else. I would like to see a proper break and then price quickly just going there before moving to the downside. If you start spending too much time in here, I'm not really a big fan then maybe to sell this at the middle, at least to wait for price to get to the extreme. It could make sense, but there is also a little bit of liquidity above those highs, so we'll see what's going to happen in here on BTC. All right, it's key levels in here. Then you have Ethereum also breaking below that, kind of opening the door to go a little bit further down in here, which it continues to create a little bit more of a few lows and eventually challenging a little bit more of this structure. This looks like fully compressed to me. Yes, we do have this demand, maybe already reacted from that. Yeah, it could go a little bit more to downside. Again, we may have a little bit of this structure that price could eventually react from, and then you have kind of those levels at the highs as well, where you could see Ethereum reacting in here. And eventually I would like to see actually price going perhaps closer to this level one more time, or even further down, to be honest. But yeah, those are just few levels in there. Looking at the currency indices, like looking at Euro index, finally moving to downside. We continue to be bearish in here. We mentioned that price still kept respecting this level while creating new lows. So that was a key level in here. Price initially respected this level, went there again, and finally now moving to the downside. Right, so, and this eventually approaching the level that you've been waiting for, which is something in there. So that will be the levels on the Euro index that you'll be looking for a potential reaction and maybe to find some buy orders at around this level. Otherwise, price will just continue to move to the downside. But below this low, I'm expecting a little bit of buy pressure on the Euro index, which can help eventually Euro dollar and Euro pairs to move to the upside. And then you have Yen index, which finally made a little bit more of a deeper move closer to this structure. Right, we have been waiting all this time for Euro index to, not Euro index, sorry, for the Yen index to kind of fill this space in here. All right, so initially kind of account low, but then price kept respecting it, and now finally broke it into that level. Again, may still have more space to go to the downside. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but it's finding some kind of buy pressure as well in here. Yes, we do need to break above this high to actually start giving a bit more of a bullish momentum, but it's finding some structure once again. We managed to break slightly above these highs in here, but that's the structure that matters. Previous support resistance as well. So we'll see if the Yen index has the capacity to actually break these highs and start turning a little bit more bullish, at least to retest this level once again. So that's something to bear in mind. Again, on the other side, you have the Yen pairs moving to the downside, like opposite to the Yen to the dollar Yen, which because of the dollar is a little bit closer to the highs. But on the Euro Yen, Pound Yen, and so on, there was actually kind of a good opportunity to look for shorts today. All right, now we're looking at the individual currency pairs. So we are going to look at Euro dollar, or starting with Euro dollar as always. And there you go, like we continue within this compression here. Initially created a double bottom. Again, I'm not interested at all in trying to buy from this level at this point, even though I've been mentioning that I like to see price moving to the upside on the euro, but we didn't really manage to break a high. Right, so we need to respect, we need to understand, and to accept what price is telling us. And at this point, price is telling us that it's not managing to break any highs. We did manage to try to go slightly higher, but after that, as you can see, even in the lower time frame, price keeps respecting the highs, keeps respecting the structure, is not really managing to break. Again, respect that level once again. It created a little bit of a space in here. Maybe this high didn't really went all the way, just respected this previous level of demand zone that basically price ignored on the way down. So that's the level in there, but respected this level. Therefore, expecting price to break new lows And when looking at the bigger picture in terms of this demand zone, we do have still this level, and I'm looking for price to go there, to be honest. So on the daily time frame, we have this week in here, which I always like to look at kind of the weeks and the opening of the candles in there. But then in the lower time frame, we do have also this other structure in here, which price hasn't really reacted from. All right, so that's something that I'll be looking for as well, eventually, for this euro dollar to potentially get a little bit closer to this structure, and you'll see how price may react from it. All right, and then the daily is kind of in there. If price does want to go even further down and move, fake out these lows, then it can do it, right? It can do it. It can get a little bit closer to this level, to be honest. Maybe this low is even already a break of, already broke that level in there, and if that happened, then you are actually looking for price. Then you are looking actually for price eventually to break out the structure in here. So that's something that you can look for. It looks like that actually broke in here. Yeah, it already broke it. So again, this is one of those situations where price kind of fake out slightly level and start a new cycle. And now eventually we can actually see euro dollar breaking below this low and getting into the next structure, which is this one in here, right? Within this gap, there is the next structure in there that euro dollar could find some buy pressure. All right, now, but on the daily time frame, this will, and 4 hour even, this value is maybe still fresh, and so I'm still going to give it a chance to see some buy pressure in there. Otherwise, if price just wants to go further down and starts getting closer into this level, I'm totally okay with it, and that's how I'm going to be looking to trade the euro dollar in here. All right, so we can try to see a little bit. Maybe there's some structure in there just underneath this zone in here. Perhaps can be something in there as well. So yeah, something to look at in here on the euro dollar. In terms of compression and so on, right? You can see that price continues to be within this zone 3 type of a move, which is while creating all this compression to the downside. And eventually, when you do have the turn, it's going to be quite interesting to potentially look to fill out that space, even though we do still have this level in here that we can anticipate or expect price to react from, right? But something like that could happen if price is about to hold that level on the daily time frame. Then something like that could happen in here, and that's maybe for tomorrow London session. Okay, so actually let me just rephrase this a little bit. So it would be nice to create something like that. Then price kind of creates a zone in here, goes higher, then potentially takes that high, then goes down a little bit, goes and makes the move like that, right? So that could be a possibility of proper reversal, maybe using a little bit of these left shoulders as well in here. And yeah, otherwise, if price doesn't really make this deeper move in here, right, then it will be a quicker move to the upside, and maybe price could already react from this level and then go to the upside from here, just retest and go. Like, so one of those two potential setups could happen in here. Otherwise, if price starts moving to a little bit more further down, as we kind of looked at as well, then you're looking for price to get a little bit closer to this level in there. All right, so that will be a little bit more of the zones where we'll be looking on the euro dollar, and after that we could potentially look for a long after taking these lows in there, right? So that could be a possibility as well in here for the euro. Yeah, so but that changes the dynamic a little bit of the type of PI that we can look for. On the pound dollar, right? So we finally are finding a little bit of buy pressure, and price is reacting from this demand zone. It's a really good level. This was the beginning of this zone 3 as well, so it's an extreme of a level. And then when price broke it, it created a little bit of this structure as well, and now price is reacting from the fresh demand that is in there. So in my opinion, I'm finally okay with where pound dollar is reacting from. Okay, I was not okay with these lows. I didn't really want to buy within those lows. We did create a double bottom today, then price just crashed completely, moved all the way, and now we created this fake out. Something that in my opinion is still a little bit missing is a break of a high, even though we do have a break of a high in here, but I would have liked to see a break of high from this structure in here, and price actually respected perfectly that level. Of course, we do need to confirm at least with break of that structure as well to see price basically confirm that it starts want to go higher. So we need to be paying attention to that structure as well, but you can start already with the break of this one, which looks good. There's maybe something in here that I would like to see this pound dollar going towards to, right? Maybe within this demand zone in there, maybe below that low potentially could be a level where pound dollar could just retrace one more time before turning to the upside completely. All right, so that's potentially a move in here. Maybe price can even go all the way, maybe take this level in here. All right, go there, and then yes, moving to the downside. So that's something to bear in mind in here. But I'm kind of okay now with where this pound dollar is reacting on the left side. I like the level, and I think this could be a level where I could see some retracement to the upside before potentially continuation. Maybe even this level in here can work as a continuation in here. All right, so that's something that we could bear in mind. Yep, or eventually price then goes to the next level slightly higher. Now, is this the bottom? I'm expecting that this is going to be the bottom on the pound dollar, and price will just go all the way through. I'm not really sure about that. Okay, but maybe from that level or somewhere in here we could try to trade around this range in here before potentially moving to the downside. Euro pound, there you go. Euro pound make that move a little bit, fake out that level, made that push to the upside. It kind of paused in there. This looks like there's some structure in here, and I'm still okay with the scenario where we could find new buy pressure as price gets closer to this level, right? So again, that can affect a little bit what to expect from the pound dollar. If you're actually looking for pound dollar to go higher, most likely you're going to see euro pound moving to the downside, unless the move to the upside on the euro is going to be much stronger than the move to the upside on the pound, and that can actually push euro pound as well to the upside. But if all of a sudden we see potentially move to the downside on the dollar and move to the upside on euro pound and on the euro dollar and pound dollar, then you may have another ranging day on the euro pound, right? So that's something to bear in mind. But yes, I do like the idea that we could still see something like this happening. Price kind of paused in here. So we'll see what's going to happen at around this level. Initial move up, but now price is retesting the lows again. Aussie dollar, yeah, Aussie dollar made that last kind of a fake out of the low, so it's still respecting this demand zone. I'm totally okay with price turning from here. All right, it's still missing that break to the upside or break of a high, and I like the idea of price actually retesting this level one more time. Okay, I like that idea. I do like this a little bit of destruction, though, even though maybe price already reacted from it. I'd like to see this Aussie dollar going at least one more time closer to those lows before moving to the upside. All right, I would like to see that happening in here. So yeah, again, price is still even respecting that level, so eventually do need to break some structure, some opposite structure before moving. All right, but yeah, something like that could be a possibility. Yeah, I'll be totally okay with that scenario. And New Zealand as well, which made a little bit more of a move to downside, finally moved away from this level, and it got closer to the level that you've been waiting for. All right, so now it's reacting from this demand zone. It could still go a little bit lower, but at least now it moved a little bit away from all this range, which we could also see some buy pressure at around this level. Okay, I do like the demand zone as well, so that demand zone for me is also valid, and we could see price moving to the upside from where it is. Again, there's still the chance that price can create new lows, getting a bit closer to that level, but we could see a little bit of a buy pressure like that on New Zealand and maybe getting closer to that level. So I'm much more comfortable with where New Zealand is at this point. Same thing with the Aussie dollar. Euro Aussie continues to make more pressure to the downside. So again, where this low reacted, it's kind of a good level for a bounce. I'm expecting price to continue and getting a little bit closer to that level, potentially even taking these lows. So that's a possibility. Again, we have been looking for those shorts last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, last week we were looking for the shorts. It happened. It played out amazingly. And yeah, price also now respected this level. And there's maybe a bit more room to the downside in here. And if the Aussie dollar is actually expected potentially to go higher, then you may have the continuation in here on the Euro Aussie. Pound Aussie, not really looking into it. I haven't really paid attention what Pound Aussie is doing. Then looking at the Aussie yen and jumping into the yen pairs, we have dollar Aussie yen moving a bit more to the upside. Like we mentioned that we're looking initially for the shorts, but price already filled the range in here, so it filled the target and then keep respecting the lows at this point. So let's see if we do have some break of structure in here, and if there's an opportunity to look for some sells at around this level or not on the Aussie yen. Otherwise, price may just wants to continue to go higher in here. So that's something to bear in mind. Again, depending on what the yen index is going to do, perhaps you can find something in here. Now price is compressing, so compressing quite a lot. So that's going to be something to pay attention to as well, to see if you're going to have something to trade in here to the downside. Again, first target is going to be this next level of structure, so don't ignore this level. And if price, yes, if starts breaking below this level, then it's a different story, and you can potentially go all the way first in here, and then eventually could even go lower. Right, that's going to be the next key level to look for. Looking at yen, one second. Looking at dollar yen, right, just continues to move to the upside in here, and you are looking for dollar yen actually to break above these highs, okay, and getting closer into this structure. So that's more of where we're looking for. Price is compressing in here, slightly breaking a little bit of a low in there, but then respecting the next one. And I'll be quite surprised if price actually keeps respecting the structure. So I'm looking for this dollar yen to get closer to that level before moving to downside, and there's even the chance that price can even continue to go a little bit more, right? But we do have this structure. Looks like an important level in here that price, damn it. Yeah, like the previous level support resistance in here. Then you have a few left shoulders at price again. Price already reacted from that one in here, and also kind of react from that level. Then eventually you can even go there. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen at around this level. But yes, I'll be surprised if dollar yen doesn't really fake out these highs before any turn. And as soon as it does, then you can start looking for potential short opportunities. Yeah, do have perhaps some structure here to fill. First, of course, you need to break below that those lows. So that's definitely a pair to pay attention to, especially if we are expecting a potential also reversal on the dollar index. Then you can look for that on dollar yen. Euro yen respected perfectly, right? So it keeps respecting still this supply in there. It was actually a fresh supply that it was still inside there. On the overtime frame you can see it, right? It's switched with this level in here. The previous highs, none of them reacted from that level, so it reacted today. And now we have another engulf down. Like we had the first engulf, price retrace. Now we have another engulf down, price retrace again, and now it's kind of getting closer to the lows. We'll see. I still like this level. Kind of if price goes a little bit higher, could still see another sell opportunity in there. And let's see if eventually price is not going to kind of challenge a little bit of that level, right? So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen on the euro yen. But I do like the idea of potential price actually retracing or reacting from that level and then moving to the downside. So that's a possibility in here on the euro yen. Pound yen also, not euro yen, sorry. The pound yen also reacted after faking out the highs one more time. The reaction is still from an interesting level in here. It's basically a supply level that was left behind in there. Price created a little bit of the pattern of the reversal pattern. I created some structure, started to break some lows and fake out the highs, and now moving to the downside. It also kind of took that initial low in there. Perhaps this is not the final target. Maybe price still wants to go there, but from here there may be still short opportunities, right? So I'm still okay as well with the potential of a sell opportunity from here. So something to bear in mind on pound yen. That's going to be definitely for tomorrow's trading session, is not for today. All right, let me go, guys, as well. What do you think of what can expect from the market tomorrow, and what are you looking for, so we can look at the opportunities together. CAD yen. All right, CAD yen is approaching the high again, but we never really managed to break below this low, so it's a little bit tricky. Maybe have a little bit of a reaction, but maybe the likelihood is that you're going to have new highs before even looking for any shorts. Maybe price can get closer to that level in there on CAD yen. Now we are compressing. All right, price is compressing quite nicely. We do need to see a breakout below that structure before even aiming for a bigger reversal in here. Otherwise, price may just continue to go to the upside. All right. So even if it reacts from here a little bit, may just react from that structure and continues to go higher. If you start breaking some structure in here, then potentially could start looking for different type of PI in here, and then turning something like that. Right, that will be a different story if something like this happens. Dollar CAD, right? And tomorrow we're going to have the interest rate in Canada, right? So again, pound CAD can be, yen CAD can be an interesting one to pay attention to. Dollar CAD, right? We continue to move upwards. Price now is reacting from this level. So initially we kind of reacted a little bit from the lower edge in the environment to this one. That's basically the previous high in here. Then price already kind of fake out the high. Now it's reacting from here, and there's maybe still opportunities for price to go slightly higher. Now we did manage to respect this previous level in here, so there's not exactly a break of structure at this point, but you do have a lot of compression being created in here, right? Which means that interest rate decision can be a great news event to actually break everything in here, right, and push price all the way through this compression. Usually you do see big red candles or green candles, whatever, to pass through our compression zone, and the news event is a perfect catalyst for that to happen. But that could happen as well to the opposite side. If everything in here looks like compressed, then price can easily just make the move to the upside in there, all right, because actually price, and it looks a bit compressed, to be honest, maybe a little bit of this fresh level aside from it. It looks like that every zone in here has been compressed, and you have all that space in there that you need to basically fill on the dollar CAD, and the news could also make that move push to the upside in there. So that's something to bear in mind in here on the dollar CAD. If you start breaking some structures in here as well, it starts increasing a little bit more the likelihood that you can fill out this range. And again, tomorrow we have interest rate decision, so it's going to be an interesting one to look for. Is there any more sell opportunities that are around these highs? Maybe there is. Like if prices want to make one last retest of the highs, maybe there is an opportunity to sell, just maybe correct liquidity from all these highs in here, and then go. Right, that could happen as well if that's the intention in here on the dollar CAD. That's something to bear in mind. Then we have Euro CAD as well, which basically back at the lows. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in here. Again, we had that turn. Again, overall bigger picture is still a little bit more bearish, with price breaking lows and potentially still want to go a little bit further down to potentially get even closer to this level. But we'll see. We'll see if price by any chance wants to retrace to the upside from this demand or not. Like USD CAD. Like again, if by any chance dollar CAD wants to go lower, Euro CAD will be moving to the downside as well. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I don't really see any big space to the upside at this point. In order to look for longs, but depending on maybe how price may react from this structure, maybe that's going to be an opportunity. Otherwise, looking for sales at these lows is not really something that I'm interested in. Like I like to sell at the highs, not sell at the lows. So yeah, I may just skip all this together. So we'll see. All right. Maybe in the morning can be a move based on the euro if euro finds some strength, and then you'll see where this Euro CAD is going to be at by the time of the interest rate decision. We can also look at pound CAD, which also is moving a bit more to downside. There's maybe more room to go and to fill in here when the price kind of broke that structure, so it could even go there as well. So it's an interesting one. It's a bit more in the middle at this point. You basically keep respecting, or you do have this strong trend line that's going on since a long time ago, basically. All right, so that's an important one. And yeah, we'll see. Price reacted really nicely from that level, but now we managed to fake out that level. Price could even go one more time closer to here. But at the same time, I don't really like this low. I think price eventually could break it, could get a little bit closer to this level. And I think that's eventually the target for this move on the pound CAD. So that's something to pay attention to. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of all this moving here and where price is at the moment. So not really looking to trade this. To be honest, I could see price going easily both ways, either there or eventually here. Yeah, that's kind of what I see in here. Dollar franc Swiss continues to be within this range. Again, I'm looking for price to go a little bit more to the upside before turning and making a little bit more of a deep retracement in here, which could be there or could be here. All right, so that would be a little bit of the scenario. To be honest, I would prefer actually if dollar franc Swiss would go into this level first and then maybe making a retracement and perhaps targeting something in there. All right, again, it's a lot of compression, it's a lot of a range in here, and I would definitely like to see that happening on dollar franc Swiss. Again, you do have that structure as well to pay attention to. Yeah, so that's definitely something to bear in mind. Okay, keeps respecting a little bit of these lows. I don't really like these highs anymore. So yeah, that's something to look for. Gold just continues with the bullish momentum. Nothing really, nothing's going on in here. There's a lot of compression, so eventually we could have a deep retracement on gold. All right, as soon as we maybe break below that structure at this point, is the last one that matters in here, because price has been respecting every single one of them. There's actually already a break below this level in here, which eventually can be the target, initial target for this move down, and otherwise we may go all the way into this level in here. All right, but perhaps now price can easily just retest one more time, continue to go higher until eventually starts creating some range, and then eventually could move to the downside. But so far, not really fighting it. Silver most likely is doing something similar as well. So again, continuation to the upside. We do have that bigger target that you're looking for, price to get closer to the 35. It got really close already, but slightly higher than 35, like above even those highs, and eventually you can even go above that level. So that's a zone in there on silver that we'll be looking for. In here, is there anything? Is there anything in here? Don't have enough data. You have enough data in there to check on our time frame aside from the daily. Fortunately, yeah, something to bear in mind. And then oil, right? Oil finally moved to the upside, right? So again, we've been waiting when price was creating this range in here. We've been waiting for price to make a proper leg down before a move to the upside. We talked about this demand zone or this structure in here, and there you go. We have the reversal pattern playing out in here. We had that initial break to the upside, price creating some lows, big momentum down, fakes out the lows, kind of then turns in here, kind of still this reaction from these left shoulders, and now a move to the upside, and you're looking for oil to fill that range in there. Again, I still find the opportunity, or kind of I still like the opportunity to look for longs eventually when price retests to this level, but for now that initial longs, those initial longs that we're looking for, they are playing out as we speak. So that was a nice one, a nice prediction that we looked for in here. Nice pattern as well, the way price played out in here, right? Again, a lot of volatility at around this structure, and price can even retest this level one more time as well. But for now, yeah, for now the move is completed, or is being done, and it's on the way, it's in process, which means that yeah, there was already that initial long in there. But nice move, and that's exactly what you were looking for in here. A Brent kind of same way, like similar stuff, good reaction from this demand zone in there as well, kind of start breaking some highs, fake out that level, and then moving to the upside with potential to go at least close this gap in there. Yeah, so that's exactly what we were also looking for. Yeah, this level in here I think is already retested. It's a continuation, so perhaps price could even go a little bit lower if that's the idea, with the potential zone for now into here, or eventually into there. Yeah, and that's basically it. That's basically it from what we have for tomorrow. Going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen on the on the dollar. If we're going to have another bullish day or not. Again, I really like where price is starting to approach. I like that level on the 4-hour time frame. Let me just do the recap. 1 second. All right, so just to recap the live stream and which levels we are looking to trade tomorrow, or which assets. So again, it was another bullish day, a slow day in the market, mostly in particular on the FX, on the dollar, with where we had another bullish day candle being created in here, but price is compressing quite a lot, as you can see in here, right? Price is compressing. It was another non-event day in terms of news. There was some commentary from the governor of the Bank of England and Christine Lagarde, but tomorrow we are going to have interest rate decision in Canada, so it can create a little bit of volatility. But for the US, only on Thursday, we're going to have news with the manufacturing and services PMI. But price is still approaching an interesting level as we speak. Like, it's approaching that level on the left side that we've been waiting for. Right, we are looking for price to go somewhere around the structure, and in here I do like a level. That's basically a little bit of the prediction that we made, and eventually I would like to see price filling out this compression to the downside, or like getting closer to this level. So another leg up and potential move to the downside, which is basically the opposite on the euro. Euro dollar is still respecting the demand on the left side. There may be a little bit of a zone underneath that price can still react from. So that's a little bit of the levels or the possible PA that I'm going to be looking for longs. If price does break the low, then it changes a little bit the dynamic. But even though if it breaks the low, I could still see a retracement to the upside, but that opens the door for price to go further down after that. Pound dollar, for the first time, I actually like where the lows are reacting from, so I could actually see price going to the upside without the need to break any new lows. Price is reacting now from a really good level on the left side. So I'm going to actually look for PA within this low in order to look for longs. What else? Euro pound made that initial move to the upside that we're looking for. Now I could still see, depending on how price may react and retesting the lows, and depending also on what pound dollar is going to do, if there's another opportunity to look for longs in there or not. Dollar CAD is the key level, like with the interest rate decision that you have tomorrow, the biggest catalyst. Let's see if there's going to be more sell opportunities at these highs. Now we have been moving in a strong compression. Usually when you have a strong compression, in this case to the upside, we may have a quick move to the downside just to fill out that compression, and nothing better than news event and the big catalyst to actually create that move. The end pairs, something that we are looking for as well, right? So price finally got really closer, or got closer a little bit to this range that we are looking for. So again, the end pairs are in that situation where you can have opportunities to buy and sell within the same trading session. And that usually happens when you have these compression zone. Right? So within the same trading session, you can have opportunities to look for longs and sell. So be careful, especially in terms of managing your trading expectations, or in terms of looking for big targets. Maybe this is still not the moment to look for that. So maybe try to just look for intraday setups and to close the positions on the same day. That's something that we're going to continue to be looking for in there. And then in terms of the US indices, basically prices retesting again the highs, is still within the same range in here. In terms of the S&P, Nasdaq, same thing. So basically retesting that vast supply in there. So we'll see if price finds more selling pressure in here or not, or if eventually takes the highs as well. Dow fill out that range, and now we're backing into the middle, but that was the initial move that we're looking for. And DAX actually managed to break below it, so it starts opening the door. So we start turning a little bit more bearish on the DAX as well. Again, there's a chance that price can still get closer to the highs before moving down, but for now, it opened the door, in my opinion, for price to move further down, which is interesting. In terms of gold and silver, continuation to move to the upside, and oil finally made the move to the upside. Again, we have been positioning ourselves as bullish since last week, and now price finally confirming with the type of pattern that we're looking for in terms of reversal, played out exactly as predicted. And now we can see a little bit more of a bullishness on oil. If price again by any chance retests close to the lows, I'm still going to be looking for price to look for more buy opportunities closer to the lows where we were just yesterday or 2 days ago. So that's basically my take. I'm going to once again looking for potential sells on the dollar. Depending on how price moves, I'm going to keep tracking to see if there's that opportunity to fill out that space on the dollar index, and the opposite of course on euro dollar. Pound dollar finally I really like the lows, so I'm going to be looking for potential longs where it is, even though I know that in the bigger picture price can actually go further down. Aussie dollar, New Zealand as well, they're quite interesting at the lows as well. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit of what I'm going to be looking for. On CAD, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. Last week I was much more intensively looking for sales. This week I still need to see a little bit more of PA, especially now with the news tomorrow. I'm still not entirely sure of which direction price wants to go to. We can see Euro CAD and Pound CAD a little bit at lows, kind of not at the best level to look for shorts, which may kind of question mark a little bit if I do want to look for shorts or not on our CAD. It depends on PA that I will see tomorrow. With that being said, guys, again, if you do find value in here, please subscribe to the channel and join me on I go live every day at 7 p.m. So if you want to look at the market, analyze some levels, and find some opportunities for tomorrow trading session, feel free to could join as well. With that being said, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Obrigado. Bye bye.